Many learners try to remember kanji by writing them over and over, or by memorizing all the reading at once and forget all of them in the next few days. If this sounds familiar, you are not alone. Most Japanese learners find kanji challenging, not because kanji are impossible. Here's a problem. These common study methods rely on passive learning, which only for short-term memory. That's why, even if you study hard, you might forget everything just a few days later. In this video, I will share most effective strategies to help you master kanji efficiently for that your long memory. So if you've ever felt frustrated with kanji, make sure to watch until the end. Today, we will focus on 3 key points. First, how to remember the meaning of kanji. Second, how to memorize their readings. And then about specific learning method. Let's start with the first point. How to remember the meaning of kanji. The key is to remember kanji by making up stories and images in your mind that connect the part of kanji to their meanings. Let's look at this kanji. This kanji is made up of a person and tree. You can imagine someone taking a break under a tree, which helps you remember that this kanji means to rest. Another example is this. This kanji has 2 parts, the sun and the moon. You can imagine a scene where both the sun and the moon are shining, making everything bright. This story helps you remember that this kanji means bright or clear. By creating stories like this, you make kanji easier to remember and understand. And if you find it difficult to create your mnemonics or story, a great resource for this is the Shirakawa font website, which explains the historical origin of kanji based on the ancient script and meanings. Enter or paste the kanji you want to look up here. For example, if you search for this kanji meaning hand, you can find the ancient form, and this makes it easier to imagine that this kanji was formed from the shape of a hand and connecting to the meaning. Then, how about this kanji? Yes, that's right. It was created exactly from the shape of an eye, and you can easily remember this kanji as an eye. Now how about this one? You can imagine 2 people running, because this kanji means to run. Kanji is not just random symbols. Learning their origins or making stories can help you remember them better for long-term memory. Now, let's talk about how to remember the readings of kanji. Kanji have many readings, so learning them can be tricky, right? But don't worry, I will explain them simply today. Let's take a quick look at the kanji history to understand why there are so many readings. Kanji was introduced to Japan from China around the 5th century. At the time, Japan didn't have its own writing system, but they already have their own language. As a result, 2 types of readings for kanji developed, on-reading and kun-reading. On-reading is the sound reading, based on the Chinese pronunciation. Kun-reading is the Japanese reading, which is based on the Japanese word. For example, the kanji water was pronounced shui in Chinese. The Chinese pronunciation was adopted into Japanese sound, so the on-reading for this kanji became sui. However, the Japanese word for water was already mizu, so mizu became its kun-reading. This is the reason why kanji often have more than one reading. Now, let's talk about how do you know which to use. Let's start with kun-reading. When talking about the word for water, you use the kun-reading, mizu. Why? Because the on-reading, sui, doesn't mean anything by itself. It's just the sound. So on-reading is usually used in combination with other kanji. For example, combine sui with yobi to make suiyobi, Wednesday. Combine sui with do, meaning way, to make suido, water supply or waterway. There are exceptions, but as a general rule, when a kanji are combined, use the on reading. When a kanji stands alone or is followed by hiragana, use the kun reading. So when you learn kanji reading, it's important not just focus on memorizing the readings. Instead, try to learn on reading as part of vocabulary word. This way, you are not just learning kanji, you are also building your vocabulary, which will help you improve your Japanese overall.
Now, let's move on to the third point, specific learning method. You can just start from today. Even if you study meaning and readings, it's easy to forget them unless you study in the right way. That's why I created the new kanji e-learning platform called Naruhodo Kanji Camp. It's a complete system designed to help you learn kanji step by step at your own pace. In this course, you can watch short daily videos that teach kanji through stories, mnemonics, and radicals. It's the most effective way to learn the meanings. Each video also shows the stroke orders, vocabulary, and real example sentences. And you can get full access to all materials like Quizlet and flashcard. You can study anytime on the train, before the bed, even during the lunch break, and whenever you get stuck, I am always here. You can ask questions directly inside our community. If you've been putting off learning kanji, or if you ever felt frustrated with kanji, it's your sign to finally start. You can start for free, and there's no pressure. You can cancel anytime. Just click in the description to join us. I will see you inside the course.